Hubler is proud to be the official sponsor of Franklin Athletics. Score massive savings on all your favorite brands. Plus, get our 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty included. For all auto needs, just click drivehubler.com. Let's go, Grizzly Cubs!
Hi, I'm Thomas Crow, and welcome to the Franklin Community High School, and sponsored by Hubler Automotive Group, Coach's Corner. This is my co-host, Mr. Brian Powers.
How's it going? We are joined today by the coach in Coach's Corner, Franklin High School football coach Coach Coll. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks
good.
for having me again.
Yes, of course. It's Coach's Corner, so we have to have it. Coach here. Yeah. So we're looking ahead to this week versus Shelbyville. But before we do that, last week a tough loss at Danville, opening game of the season. Just kind of take us through that game and some things you noticed in that.
I thought we played hard. We did some good things in all phases of the game. Just couldn't finish offensively. Put our defense in a bind a couple times with some miscues. So thought we competed well. Just struggled being able to finish offensively, and it kind of put us behind the whole game.
So when you've got you come into a game like you did with just a very new team, you've got a decent amount of kids back, but for a lot of the parts, you've got new players. How do you transition them? How do you prepare them with what we've had? I mean, very little practice time leading up to that.
I don't know. Everybody's kind of in the same boat. You're just trying to get as much done as you can, trying to make sure you don't stick too much in and ask, pile too much on the players so that they can be comfortable with the scheme and responsibilities and assignments. We're still kind of in that mode. I mean, we're only in week 2. We didn't have much of a summer, so we're still kind of in that mode, just trying to get good at what we do at our base packages, offensively and defensively, and the special teams, and that's really the goal right now. We're trying to be mindful of how much we do and what we're doing.
So I think a lot of people will just, especially being the first week of the season, a lot of people will see the score and just kind of go with it, first game or whatever. But there were 2 stats that I saw that I thought were pretty positive stats. One being Jalen Ward, 150 scrimmage yards and a touchdown, and the other being only 3 penalties. Yeah.
It's just kind of that type of game. It was the way it was officiated, and I thought it was a pretty clean game, really on both sides. Both for us and Danville. It was, for a week 1 game, I felt like there wasn't any. I don't remember, maybe 1 offsides or something like. It was a pretty clean game played by both teams. And then as far as run game goes, Jalen did have a good game. We do have a pretty experienced line. I thought he looked really well, running physically and gobbling up some yards. And Reed had I thought, a pretty solid game passing. We had little mistakes that cost us and prevented us from finishing. I really felt like if we'd got a couple scores in that first half, some things might have worked out a little bit differently. There was definitely some positives, and again, like I said, the defense, truly really only gave up the 1 score. The other 2, were off of miscues. So 1 on offense and 1 on special teams. So I think there were a lot of positives. I think there were some guys that looked good both on game night and when we went back and watched the film, we did some good things. We have some consistency issues that we got to clean up.
So looking ahead this week, you've got Shelbyville coming here.
Yep.
Just tell us a little bit about them, what you're looking at, and what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think it's a program that's still developing. You can tell on film that they've moved forward, made progress from last season. They're pretty good size up front. They got some athletes. They got some playmakers, I think, on both sides of the ball. A little bit of a dual threat. They're probably going to hang their hat on the run game, I think. Just looking at it ahead, but they also got a quarterback, so a little bit of a dual threat quarterback that we got to be sound when we defend him because he can hurt you, both with his legs and his arm. But a program that's moved forward, and usually, you like to think in football, you think in terms of your biggest jumps happening between week 1 and 2. So we got to make sure we improve because we're going to anticipate that they're going to make a big jump this week as well.
So having a almost a 70-point win last year, do you ever feel as if you have trouble kind of keeping the focus as to say, hey, this is a new team, we still have to go out there and really play a good game on Friday?
I hope not. I hope not. I hope that doesn't creep into our players' mindset. From the very beginning, we preach, we're competing against ourselves. It doesn't matter if it's week 1 or 2, or if it's in the championship game of the sectional. We're trying to be the best we can be. So we never, regardless of opponent, want our kids to, think that way. So we expect and we, try to instill, and we want to be the best we can be this week, and who we're playing doesn't really matter. And if they do let that creep in, then we could have some problems because this is an improved program. Like I said, they are big in some spots and pretty physical. Got some nice players on both sides of the ball, so there's no way we can go into a game and think we can just cruise. We're going to have to go out and compete and play, and we want to be our best.
What are you going to be looking for from your team as far as we did this last week, I don't want us to do it this week, and what are you going to be looking to build on, say that's what I liked?
Scheme breakdowns, consistency. I mean, that was, we played really well in spots, did some really good things, both offensively and defensively Friday night, but we just had some flat-blown scheme assignments. And it wasn't any one particular area. So as a team, as an offensive unit, as a defensive unit, we just want to be more consistent. We don't want to have those breakdowns. If we don't win a play, we want it to be because they made a good play.
Well, yeah, with all that being said, as you are probably watching this either a little bit before or a little bit after, the link for the broadcast will be posted from the Franklin Athletics page. Shelbyville on Friday night. You got any final words for us, Coach?
No, just, it's kind of an awkward situation with the crowd limitations and so forth. We've got such great student support and the Blue Crew and families and stuff like that. I want to sit here and tell everybody to come out Friday night, but unfortunately, we're not in a situation where that's possible. But, I hope everybody sends some positive energy and watch it at home if you're not coming to the stadium. And hope we're going to go out and we're in full intentions of, executing at a high level and playing well on Friday night and representing, Franklin community in a very positive nature.
Yep. Well, as Coach said, it is senior night on Friday, so get on that broadcast and support our seniors. Coach, we know you're a busy guy. We appreciate you giving us your time again. For Coach Coll, for Mr. Powers, I'm Thomas Crow, and this is your Hubler Automotive Group Coach's Corner.